Now going over to the political part podcast, you have Vivek's January 6th video going viral. Now, this is from Vivek's personal Twitter account, or 17 people call it X. Within a day, it got 3.7 million views. Now, Vivek, let's see here. I wonder if he says something different than a text.
Let's start with January 6th.
Sure.
There is no evidence that it is in.
I'll say both, just to be safe. So he says, quote, "If you had told me nearly 3 years ago when I was a CEO that January 6th was an inside job, I would have said that's crazy. It's not. There are now clear evidence that there was at the very least entrapment of peaceful protesters similar to the fake Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot and countless other cases. The FBI won't admit how many undercover officers were in the field on January 6th. Capitol Police, on one hand, fired rubber bullets and explosives into a peaceful crowd, who they then willingly later allowed to enter the Capitol. This doesn't add up, and the actual evidence turns the prior narrative upside down. If the deep state is willing to manufacture an insurrection to take down its political opponents, they can do anything. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Too bad for CNN. We'll take the truth on January 6th mainstream."
Let's start with January 6th.
Sure.
There is no evidence that it is an inside job. It was a fringe conspiracy theory that the Trump-appointed FBI director, Christopher Wray, has said explicitly over and over is just not true.
So I appreciate the opportunity to address it. I was an anti-woke crusader leaving the business world, and if you had asked me 3 years ago, is there some chance January 6th is an inside job, I would have said that was crazy talk. I would say, looking at the facts of the video footage that have come out, Dana, it is shocking that you still haven't gotten a clear answer of how many federal agents were in the field that day. Look at now the video footage of actually throwing explosives and rubber bullets into what was a peaceful crowd, then releasing to the public what came in response to that. But now look at the video footage that was released, and I'm glad we're talking about it because viewers deserve to look at that footage. Capitol Police literally letting people in who were then now prosecuted. Some of them have gone on to commit suicide because of what the government's doing. That is a case of entrapment. And I think the government has not been transparent about this, which is why I then brought up another case where the government, now 20 years later, with declassified documents, told us that they lied to us at the time. And so I do think we have a government that's consistently lied to its people.
But an inside job suggests that everybody who attacked the Capitol was part of that.
I didn't say that, but I was saying that there's entrapment going on. There's entrapment going on, and this looks like a case of entrapment. And if you look at even over the last day...
What do you mean by entrapment?
Entrapment means that the police goaded people to do something than they otherwise wouldn't have done, and then they arrest them for actually doing it.
And you don't think it was actually the former president who was
trying to get people... I think that was the media narrative. Now look at actually a hard case.
We heard him with our own ears.
I'm going to ask you about a case and see what you think about this, right? You guys said this for a long time about the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot. Suddenly gone silent after it comes out of trial that absolutely that was a case of entrapment, which is why 2 of those people were acquitted. So I'm saying this as somebody who, on the other side of this, as a biotech CEO, somebody who was even anti-woke, but if I was looking at this, I would have said a lot of this is crazy talk. But if you actually get into the details, I think it is startling how much the government has systematically lied. And I think it's both parties over the course of the last 25 years.
But on
the left used to be better at pointing this out and being skeptical of the government, but now it's the right.
Which is the most aggressive, offensive attack on the U.S. Capitol and on democracy itself that we have seen in our lifetime and in many, many lifetimes. To say without evidence that it was an inside job.
I'm not saying it without evidence. I think that what we're seeing now is the video footage that's come out. I was in a different place before a lot of that evidence came out, but you have to respond to the evidence. What is your response, or what is anybody else in CNN's response to the video footage that was released of Capitol Police literally just peacefully allowing people into the Capitol?
What we know is
shooting
that
into peaceful
850
crowds.
people have been convicted of crimes.
But the reality is many of them were convicted before that information was released.
And do you think that former President Trump has anything to do with this?
No, because you're bringing up a really good point, and your audience and everybody deserves to know the truth about this. Normally, there's a rule in constitutional law. It's called the Brady Rule. You have to turn over exculpatory evidence to the other side. In this case, it wasn't turned over because the DOJ said Congress was sitting on.
Again, they had 3.7 million views in a single day and 38,000 likes, making it one of his most viral moments on the Twitter, or 17 people call it X. Let's go see what the responses say. Baked Turbo Fit Lash says, quote, "Could anyone need more of a clear sign?" Unquote. And there's a picture, well, it's a screenshot of the video, aforementioned video, and there's a little round light above Vivek's head indicating I guess their metaphor is a halo. That got 1.3 thousand likes. Eddie says, quote, January 6th with an inside job, unquote. And he has a meme in which Vivek is holding up from the debate, this little legal pad, and the text is changed to say January 6th equals inside job. It got 1.2 thousand likes. And again, brilliant marketing by Vivek. He knew that was going to be taken and just chopped up into 100 different memes. And again, going viral is half the battle, some might say, in terms of popularity and increasing your poll numbers. Aether Wolf says, quote, journalism is dead. Listening to this woman talk, she only wants to push a narrative. No curiosity or interest in exploring anything else. Thank you for standing up to this every day. How tiring. Unquote. Got 2.3 thousand likes. Helio Wave says, quote, it's crazy to see the media claim narratives even after it falls apart. You can feel the desperation, unquote, getting 1.9 thousand likes. Sri Harsha says, quote, Vivek, you should have asked her, quote, did you watch the January 6th tapes that were released recently, unquote. Got 1.6 thousand likes. Roger Stone says, quote, CNN is not a news outlet. It is a propaganda front run by jackals. No one who works there should be believed. They are beneath contempt, unquote. Got 1.1 thousand likes. Let's see here. We have it all, says, quote, let's not forget the committee destroyed evidence as well, unquote. Got 295 likes. Mia says, quote, imagine journalists not doing investigation any longer and just offering opinion commentary. What a time to be alive, unquote. Got 415 likes. The White Rabbit says, quote, bring back justice for January 6ers, unquote, getting 148 likes. Vince Langman says, quote, January 6th was the largest FBI false flag operation in history. Thank you for not being afraid to speak the truth on CNN, unquote. Gentleman got 387 likes. Let's see here. Luke Zelsky says, quote, the fact that Trump hasn't made fun of Vivek's name or given him a nickname tells you everything you need to know about him. What is up? Vivek isn't a threat to Trump. He's not a candidate for president. He's a contestant on the apprentice cabinet position. There's only one voter, unquote. Got 402 likes and one of the first contrarian statements going against Vivek. Dwayne Robertson says, quote, great points and you won the debate easily, unquote. Got 137 likes. News Nomad says, quote, it takes humility to change one's position when confronted with evidence. Thank you, unquote. Got 572 likes. Subdertude says, quote, Dana is no match and Vivek is correct, unquote. Got 1,000 likes. Max says, quote, the fact that a journalist is trying to argue with him about, quote, no evidence is literally all you need to hear about this conversation to know who's lying, unquote. Got 200 likes. Damian Ranger says, quote, Vivek is now the leading candidate for 2028. I'd vote for him, unquote. Got 430 likes. Let's see here. Scrolling down more and more. Andrew McCullen says, quote, nice to see someone who actually studies the facts is actually running for president, unquote, getting 54 likes. Someone by the name of William Blantz says, quote, the Brady violations are the worst part for me, unquote, getting 34 likes. And as I scroll more and more, Ecam Coldest says, quote, Vivek having a whole ass halo over his head, unquote, getting 97 likes. So it's like overwhelming positive responses to him. Again, it'll be interesting to see. He's going viral. He's especially proficient at social media, getting a lot of views, getting a lot of likes, mostly positive comments. The real question is, when is that going to translate to him increasing his poll numbers? Because he peaked about 6 to 8 weeks ago. He's about 7%. He's now hovering around 5%. It'll be interesting to see what moves does he have to make on the political chessboard in order to get back on track to actually increasing those numbers. Because right now he's still below Nikki Haley, and DeSantis, of course, just keeps presumably dropping. In theory, someday he'll hire someone that has a modicum of intelligence to run his campaign. But it'll be interesting to see. Let me know, do you think this will actually increase his numbers in the poll for Vivek, or do you think he's kind of evened out? Be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, again, for taking the time to tune in today. Don't forget to take time to subscribe. We're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of December. Also, leaving a comment is a great way to give me some feedback. Let me know how I can make the show better and better, improve the quality. Also, lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.